Hey guys, it's Becky and today I'm going to be reviewing The Secret of Spellshadow Manor by Bella Forrest. This book is about Alex, who, when a French exchange student comes across to stay with his family, she is then kidnapped by some ghost that only he can see. After she leaves school and he tries to follow her to make sure she's okay, they end up walking into a neighborhood he's never seen before, and they end up in this big manor house that ends up being Spellshadow Manor, which is a school for magic. He is then recruited into this school even though he himself does not have any magic, and so he has to keep this a secret in case he gets kicked out or worse, killed, while Natalie is still stuck in the school. Him and Natalie must uncover the secrets in order to get themselves out and to help the other kids that are stuck in this school. I saw this as an ad on Facebook multiple times. I think I've been seeing it for over a year and I just ignored it because it's always saying it's the next Harry Potter, it's the next Hunger Games. And I never really listen to things that say that because they're never going to be as good as Harry Potter or the Hunger Games if they're trying too much to be like them, and it's just a really bad marketing technique. But then I kept seeing the ad over and over and over and over again, and I checked and I didn't follow the publisher or the author, and it was literally just sponsored posts were constantly coming up, so I was intrigued. I understand how much money must go behind media buying, and if that much money was going behind this book, that must mean the publisher must think it was a good book, right? I was wrong. I should have listened to my initial gut reaction. This was an awful book, and I'm gonna go through all the reasons why it was just really, really bad. The first thing was that it was written really badly. There was too many descriptions and there was too many similes and metaphors used. I remember being taught about similes and metaphors in school, and I also remember expanding my writing afterwards when I got into high school and learned how to write a short story that wasn't full of 5 description words before person's name. And I realised this after a couple of chapters in, so it was very soon that I noticed that this was happening, and then as soon as I noticed, it was even more pronounced throughout the rest of the book. The descriptions themselves were also really irritating. Our main character, Alex, meets Natalie and describes her in her head as exactly 5'8". I don't know about you, but I never look at someone and go, oh yeah, they must be like 6 foot, right? And then I'm definitely not right when I assume that what height they are, and it pulls you out because you shouldn't be using your characters to describe people. You should be doing that in your writing. One of the descriptions that really stood out for me was the main character claims that the manor isn't old-fashioned enough for him, and that old-fashioned was a blue Mustang blaring the Beatles, not an eerie, chilly, haunted tomb of a place. So I had a couple of queries about this. One, how old is this author? Because the Beatles and Blue Mustangs are not that old. And actually, like, a old haunted mansion is quite old-fashioned if you think about it, really. Like, why isn't that old-fashioned? And 2, there's that too many adjectives used. They don't all need to be there at all. And just the whole sentence just irritated me when I was reading it. I'm going to move on from the descriptions because I could probably go all day and highlight them in the book and make sure you know which ones are bad. But I'm going to move on to our main character, Alex. He's not likable at all. He obviously just assumes people's heights, but he turns up at school and describes a girl as self-absorbed, and then follows up with nothing out of the ordinary for a girl her age, which I don't know, but I feel like this character was meant to be written as a bit of an asshole and a bit judgmental. But then later in the book, he's being claimed to be a nice guy and that he's so good of a friend and he's really great and he'll do anything to help people. And I think if you're gonna write a good character, they should be good throughout and they shouldn't be saying judgmental shit like that. The actual plot wasn't explained at all. I'm still not fully sure what happened or why they had to get out and save themselves or who they were saving themselves from. The manor, we find out, isn't actually on Earth, but we have no idea how that's possible. We don't know where we are. We don't know why the manor has it been removed from Earth, or are we on a different planet or spiritual plane that we have built upon once it was there. None of this is ever talked about, and seeing as we're going into like a different place completely, the complete lack of world building threw me. We're just stuck in this manor house that has no sense of logic at all. The Finder, who is the man that Alex sees taking Natalie, has a backstory that we are introduced to, but we're still not fully sure about why he is still finding children and kidnapping them to put in the school. The teachers of the school are actually all ex-students who have to take over the role of a teacher in order to continue staying on at the school, which means these were all students once, and we know for a fact that 2 of these teachers tried to escape when they were here. So if all the teachers want to escape and all the students don't want to be there, why are we still in the manor? The only people that are going to stop them are the headmaster and Finder, which are only 2 people in the entire building. I just didn't understand why they didn't just band together and why they didn't talk to each other. And there's only talk between 4 characters in the whole of the class and school. Overall, the book just irritated me as a whole. It wasn't well written. The characters didn't lack depth. The plot line was all over the place, and we just didn't get questions answered at all. And I know that it's meant to set up a series, but I've seen Bella Forrest's other series, and there's like 40 books in a different series of hers. And this plot that we have couldn't last longer than that at all. It could last a couple of books, maybe 3. But then it should be done, and there should be conclusions at the end of each individual book. And I really hated the fact that it's marketed towards people who like Harry Potter, because it's nothing like Harry Potter, and that was clearly just a marketing line to encourage people to pick it up. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.